Hello, I am Mary Mazur, and this is Change Your Funk to Fun. We welcome you today. This is our episode 2 of a 24-week episode where we'll be diving in deeply of learning how to change whatever funk experience you're going through. What we mean by funk is things you don't like, things that are challenging you, frustrating you, blocking you, limiting you. Okay, it's kind of nice if we can actually call it funk. So there we go. We're going to call it funk. How about that? How about we can change your funk? You can change your funk to fun. Wow, which means you're going to be elevating your vibration. You'll be elevating your consciousness. You'll be waking up to be able to view new things about yourself, about your life, and even about learning lessons and growing, learning how to fully grow through every experience that you are choosing to experience in this lifetime. Many of us don't even realize that we're choosing all these experiences. That's kind of the funny joke on us. I know I certainly didn't believe that. I definitely thought I was in more of a victim energy, or more of things were happening to me, and definitely was living in fear for a lot of my life before I learned some very powerful spiritual tools to help me wake up and to elevate my consciousness and remember who I am, that I'm actually love, and so are you. Absolutely. So this is what we will be assisting you with today. I do have a beautiful spiritual team that flows through me. So as we talk, the Council of Light is also here with us too. Oh yeah, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron. You can go look them up if you don't know much about the archangels. They're absolutely amazing. We have a beautiful angelic team. We also have ascended master teams, that are actually guiding us, and so look forward to having us be able to become one with them here to help assist us in our life. So we welcome you for that. So today's episode is called Letting Love Rule You Instead of Fear. Letting love rule you instead of fear. How beautiful would that be in your life, right? So the gift here is take a look at your life right now. And I'm going to be offering some suggestions, and you can take it if this is helpful for you. Please see if it feels right. And these are just beautiful gift offerings for you to be able to do for yourself. Okay. One key one is to open up time for yourself. Okay. I know for me, that was one of the biggest game changers that I definitely needed to make, was to actually edge out time for me. Because before I began my spiritual awakening and remembrance of who I am, of the love of who I am, and dissolving those fears that I was running from, and actually running and vibrating in, and now that I'm able to elevate and vibrate into the love of who I am, and I'm inviting that for you too. Yeah, that we. I was super busy. I was crazy busy. And I don't know if that's how your life is going right now at all. But many times that actually is based on the fears that we have. So if you are running in a fear vibration, is just a dense energy vibration. It's a contracted energy. There's two really powerful books that I read that I was really grateful for. One is called Power versus Force with Dr. David Hawkins, and Frederick Doxson's book, Level of Energies. So if you're interested in learning about energies and vibration, and the gift is that our emotions are energy in motion, and it's how we feel. It's what we are fully experiencing in our life here as a human. And they are at different rates. They are at different vibrations. The lowest is actually shame, and then guilt, and even apathy, worry, and fear. Fear is about like at 100. If you can look at a scale from 0 to 100, it's fear is at 100. Okay, it's a dense energy. All right, and then as you continue to climb a little more, you will get into anger and even frustration, or even like a pride energy where you think you know everything. I know I definitely have danced in that one too, or even doubt. Doubt. Another one with doubt. And then the gift is that you actually get to step into a gateway of courage. Courage is actually the gateway that switches you from negative to positive, from a contracted energy to an expanded energy. So it's courage. That is it. And all it is a decision to have the courage, to just decide. So what will happen with many of us living in fear, if you Would like to open up your time. So we're talking about opening up time for yourself. Yes, and when you're in that dense energy of 100 with the fear energy, or even around that, maybe you call it the cousins. The cousins of fear are all the other ones, like worry, shame, doubt, anger. Those are kind of the cousins of fear. We can, if we want to just bring it in for simplicity, of fear and all of its cousins. With that, many times when we are in so much fear, that you will be in a fight, flight, or freeze response. And that's what your body actually will do by the chemicals that are released in your body. So what runs all of this? What runs this fear, or what triggers this fear? And then what triggers all those fight, flight, freeze responses? Great question. Thank you for asking. It is based on the beliefs you have at the subconscious level of the mind. So we will be talking more about your subconscious mind. And the gift you have is when you can actually access these things that you would like to change in the subconscious level, and then be able to change them. And we'll be talking later about that, about the gift of PSYCH-K. And that's the gift that I was given, and I share with many that are ready for it. So with fear, many times we're in the fight flight. Okay, I know for myself, definitely I was a runner. I was not too big about fighting, maybe more on my words, standing up for myself and things like that, speaking up. But it's more of the running. I definitely was a fight, flight, and I actually was a leaver of my body. I actually left my body at a young age. Didn't even realize it, but that was a coping strategy and a mechanism. And some of you might have done that too. It's also another thing to jump in and check in to see about too. Are you actually in your body? Are you really fully living here? I actually wasn't. I was actually in the higher realms, and rather stay connected with the higher spiritual realms instead of actually in this human third dimension. How about that? So my life was very busy. I was super busy. I was working night shift as a nurse, a birth nurse. I had 4 kids. One of my sons has, my only son, has special needs. He was born with Down syndrome. He has the divine chromosome. How cool is that? And so I was going, running, and that keeps you busy. So when you're in fear, when you're super busy, it can serve in that way, because it does help. The thing is that you eventually will get tired and sick and have health issues. So I'll share about the health issues that I had, and then how I was able to transform them. So let's dive a little more about fear. And I'm guessing each one of you have experienced fear, or maybe in chronic fear now, that many people actually run and don't even realize that they're running it. So what we were just talking about is that sometimes we get super busy. So we'll get over busy and keep our minds busy, or keep ourselves busy. So we don't even have to pay attention to maybe how we're feeling, or even listening to the beautiful intuition connection that your spirit always is offering for you. Many times we do ignore that and push that away, or haven't even been fully connected in that. So the gift here is, once you can allow yourself to open up some time for yourself for reflection, even if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day, begin with that. And I used to do it on the toilet. How funny is that? Because that would be the time when I didn't have the kids with me, and I'd have my own little time. So maybe it was 10 or 15 minutes. Begin with something you actually really can do. Edge out what you can do. Even put it in your calendar. I love it now with our iPhone. We can type in, hey, time for me, time with me. And then put that in your calendar for every day at the best time that you know that you can open up that time for yourself. Whew. So when you do, this is the key part, is allow yourself to have a journal. And so you can start capturing what's really happening with you, because the more you can become aware of how you're feeling and the thoughts you have and what's happening in your life, the situations going on that may be challenging you or frustrating you, blocking you, or limiting you in any way, you actually have the answers within you that can solve this. Yes, you can. And you can actually bring in new timelines for yourself, actually live in new ways, and use what you're going through. If it is fear, something you are afraid of, you can use that and let it become your friend. Let it be here to serve you, to teach you the messages, to share what you are meant to grow and learn through it. So opening up that time is one of the first key, very important pieces. Some people have learned to meditate, which is beautiful, or pray, or yoga, maybe even walking. Maybe that time for you could be going for a drive, or going for a walk, or just finding maybe a favorite spot in your home that you can have. I know for myself, I've actually created a sacred space. So I have crystals and I love candles, and even essential oils, and cozy warm blanket, things like that. Sometimes I'll even have a nice coffee, especially in the morning when I open up that sacred space too. And then just check in. So I'm checking in. All right, what's coming up for me? What is really going on? And allow yourself to start capturing it. The good thing is here, and we will be talking about in just a little bit about what the chemicals that happen in your body, so you understand more of what's physically happening with you. And it all is based on the emotions that you are vibrating in and the mental thoughts that you have that create those vibrational emotions. Okay. One thing you can begin with, which is really great, is start jotting down the things that you have accomplished in your life, the things that you are really good at. Okay. It actually is really nice. They call it the sandwich effect, right? So you got to say something good, and then maybe you'll say something that, you might need to speak out the truth within your own self about being raw and true and honest with yourself, and then finish it with something good too. So this is the template that we'll offer here for you too. So write down the things, what are you proud of yourself about? What have you accomplished so far in your life? Okay. What are your qualities, or what are your good points? What would people describe you, as your strengths, or as the things you have grown in, the things you have learned from, and that you have done well with? Because I'm sure you have had those, right? Yeah, beautiful. Then on the next page, write in the things where you think there's a gap, where you don't think you have achieved that yet. So maybe you may call it a shortcoming, or you may call it a lack. It's just, you just haven't experienced it yet or felt it yet in your life to be in for how you would like to be. Okay, and these are some key pieces here. So when you're putting that stuff in, if you find that you do worry a lot, you jump into the past where your mind keeps going back to the past stuff that happened that maybe you haven't been able to forgive or let go of, and you're still having either resentment or harsh, contracted feelings about. Perfect. Write those down too, because they're actually here for you. They're actually here to serve you, because at any time you can transform them. You can transmute and alchemize them into the love of who you are. And this is how you begin to live in the love of who you are instead of the fear or denser energies. Okay. Which is super huge. So, and it's being honest with yourself. It's being true to yourself and being really real. Okay. We do get challenges in our life. I'm even going through a big challenge, a big change in my life. I'll be talking in the weeks to come about, and it's teaching me so much. Okay. Which I will share is as far as like the fear. So, and even sadness. Sadness is a big one too in the dense energies. It's also a cousin of fear. Okay. So this morning I woke up and with doing this, opening this time for myself, checking in is, sadness. And the gift here is let yourself feel whatever you're feeling. In time, you'll be able to literally vibrate in the container of unconditional love and acceptance for yourself. And then in that unconditional love and acceptance, you also can feel anything else of things that you're going through. And they're actually here for you. They're actually messages and lessons for you to expand and grow in. And that's a really beautiful gift once you can see that everything is here for you and is a gift for you. Okay. So sadness was a gift for me this morning. I felt quite a bit of sadness for a big change that I'm going through right now and stepping into. And with what I was able to do with the gift of PSYCH-K, and that's PSYCH-K, PSYCH-K. PSYCH-K is a tool that helps us alchemize any perception we have back into our wholeness again, back into our love of who we are. And I did that literally within a couple minutes with using the tool of PSYCH-K. Like, so beautiful. So instead of staying in sadness that could last for years and years and years, I actually thanked the sadness for being here and felt it and realized it is here for me. It's a loss. I am going through a loss right now and a big change. Whenever there's a big change, there is a separation. There is a loss. And then that happens within us and we feel it within us. Each one of us do that. When we can recognize that, what are the gifts here in this loss, this death? I'm actually going through an internal death within me and a birth within me. I'm basically dying to the, I was taught of the fairy tale living and things like that. And that is actually ending. And I'm going to be creating a new fairy tale for myself. So this is the gift we get to do. So we will be taking a short break, and we would love to have you come back in just a couple minutes, and we will be diving into what does your body do with these chemicals that your fear triggers within you, and then what can you do to alchemize them back into your love. All right, so let's learn a little bit more about how your body functions. So what is it and what is fear? These are a couple great questions to ask yourself. Okay, what really is fear? Why don't we begin with that? What is fear? We talked about it's a dense, contracted energy. Others have shared, and I have heard this, and see if this resonates with you, that fear can stand for false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Meaning that in the highest level, you are all love and light in a vibrating, amazing, open energy that can create anything. And then we also have come here on Earth in the third dimension, especially during the 20th century, in a very contracted time, a very dark time, where people, humanity, have been running in the fear energy, in the fear vibration of 100, around 100, okay? Plus with its cousins, we talked about the cousins of fear, yeah. So it's just a dense way, which you can see it as a very limited, filtered way of viewing your life and what's happening. And what it does give you a focus, and it does give you a filter. So the gift with the fear is that it lets you really focus on something. So if you are afraid of something and you are getting fearful about something, what it will do is that energy or emotion literally signals through your body with your beautiful brain. You have a beautiful hypothalamus that helps you work, an amygdala. The amygdala, you can look that one up. That's a beautiful gland here we have within our brain that will release hormones. And these are called stress hormones, or things to help protect you. So it will send out cortisol. It'll send out histamine, things like that, vasopressin. So it's sending out hormones so that you can either fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. So what will happen is that the chemistry in your body then helps shift things. So all the blood will go to your muscles, like your arms and your legs, so you can run. Okay. And it shuts down organs, the blood flowing into your gut or into other organs that aren't as vital at the time. If you are literally being attacked, if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. That was the intention with our body systems, to protect us so that we can survive something and get out of something, okay? The issue comes in is when we are in chronic stress, when we are continuously repeating this over and over and over again and having reactions. So reactions is just repeating the same actions over and over and over again with this fight-flight response. And the freeze response means you're so scared that you actually don't even move, and you get paralyzed and you aren't even able to move, okay? What also happens when the fear chemicals are released within your body based on a trigger of fear, or a trigger of a threat or harm, or you don't feel safe, okay, is that it will also shut down your immune system. Your body is not concerned about helping you stay in balance and harmony with all the other organisms that are in your body, like bacteria, or some people say parasites or viruses or other things that people describe that we also are in commune with in our bodies, because it needs to help you get away from something that you are being attacked or harmed, or fear of harm of something. So what it does is then that can affect your health. And you can limit and restrict your blood vessels. It can do all kinds of things that then in time, your health may go down. Right? So for me, I was in high stress a lot of my life. My dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps. We were raised just during a volatile time in the world. And so I was in fear. And then we receive all of our beliefs the first 7 years of life. So 0 to 2 years old, when you're growing in your mom's belly, and then 0 to 2 years old, we get complete downloads in the delta waves of our brain, which is the slowest level, where it's complete absorption of whatever our parents and family members and the people all around us, whatever their beliefs are and whatever vibration they're in, we also embody that. And that just helps us to survive, because these are the conditions that we were born in. And then 2 to 6 years old, or up to 7 years old, your brain starts to vibrate in the theta waves, which is a little bit faster, and it's more of the imagination. So this is at the age where the child is riding on a little pony, but it's actually the broom. It's really a pony to the child. It's very true and literal. So we embody beliefs that become very literal, and that can really affect us for the rest of our lives, and we don't even realize it, and signal these fear responses within us, that we're just afraid. Some people are afraid of dying, afraid of getting sick, afraid of being hurt, afraid of speaking their truth, afraid of change. These are very, very common things people are afraid of. And two, people also, have phobias, right? They can get extensive. Maybe they're afraid of snakes or dogs. Maybe they got bit by a dog one time. And then from now on, the subconscious mind will help you protect yourself from a dog. So your heart might start racing really fast. You don't even know why. Maybe you start breathing shorter and shallow fast, because it already has the belief that you could be harmed from that animal, from that previous experience you had in the past. Okay. These are the things that you can change with using the gift of PSYCH-K. How neat is that? Yeah. And you literally, within minutes, within yourself. So for myself, my body was responding just for the chronic stress, because working as a nurse, it was very stressful in the hospital of what I did. And then even just with the dynamics of life and living, I was just running a lot of fear within me. And it was based on the beliefs I received my first 7 years of life. So what my body ended up expressing in my system is I ended up with psoriasis. So I got the crusty stuff all over my head, and very itchy, especially right back here. And with PSYCH-K, these are called balance change processes. We literally get to reprogram the subconscious mind. I was able to identify what was the purpose of this psoriasis. The extra sebaceous glands was interesting, huh? How like oily glands that cradled over my head. How fascinating is that? And somehow it was serving me in some way. It was protecting me in some way. So I identified how it was serving me, how it was protecting me in that way. And then I was able to then put it in where I am safe, because that was the big one for me, that I am safe in my environment and with others, things like that. And within 3 changes that I made within me using PSYCH-K, and within about a week, it all cleaned up, and my body was able to literally grow healthy cells on my head, which was wonderful. And I was so grateful for that. And yeah, I'm like, this is amazing. This is how powerful we are. And this is how amazing we are when we're able to use a tool like PSYCH-K to help us make changes at the subconscious level of the mind. The gift with that too is, instead of the fear energies that were running within me, I began to vibrate higher. I began to raise my frequency into more of a love energy. And there's stepping stones to love. So for us, if you're in courage and willingness, we'll leap up into neutrality and acceptance, and then even creativity and reason. And then from reason, we step up into love. So we'll be talking more about that, a little bit more about the elevation of you going from fear to love and how you can do that. Okay. We were just talking about elevating. I was sharing a story about when I had psoriasis on my head, and how I was able to help my body shift from fear into more love within me, which then helped assist my cells of my head to then turn healthy again. How amazing is that? And this is what we can do for us here. This is the power that you have within you, is to access where those emotions are, or what you don't like especially health conditions, things like that, and that we can actually change them and elevate them up. So there are philosophies as far as our level of consciousness. I'd love to share ones that I have learned and that I live by and help myself with. So there's basically 7 levels of the evolution of consciousness, okay? And the lowest level is that of victimhood, okay? And that is where the dense energies of fear is, all right? Including in its cousins of like guilt and shame, apathy, worry, okay? And even anger. So those are the victim energy, which means that we have a viewpoint or a perception about ourselves and about the world that people are, that I could be harmed. I don't really feel very safe, and that something could either come at me or hurt me or harm me, things like that. And many times we don't even realize that we're even running these. I really didn't, actually. It was my norm, so I didn't really know any different. The gift comes in is when things will happen to you. And this is where when you can recognize any big fear you have or any trauma that you've experienced can be a gateway for you. It can actually be an opportunity for you to raise your level of consciousness and for you to wake up and remember who you are and resonate and live from the love of who you are. So with the victim energy, when things have been traumatized, eventually you'll get mad enough that you'll say, I am tired of this. This is ridiculous, and I need to stand up for myself. Well, guess what? That's your next level of consciousness. So raising from the victim energy and then up into your, this is not fair stuff, and I'm going to stand up and fight for myself. Speaking, fighting, things that you might do. you actually are in a higher level of energy, of consciousness. It's still in the dense, contracted energy, so you're below courage, but yet you are rising. So it is actually a stepping stone. And then from there, when you get to the point when you can actually get tired of being mad that things aren't fair and you've got to change something, like something has to change. That is where the courage comes in, okay? Yes, this is where courage will come knock on your door and say, hey, would you like to have some courage here? And if you say yes for yourself and say, yes, I'm deciding I've got to make a change and I'm going to begin to go make a change. This is where PSYCH-K may come into your life. It did for me. And I was helping my husband who was sick at the time, helping him, but actually my spirit was nudging me because I so needed it. I was in so much fear, didn't even realize it, didn't even realize how safe I did not feel in this world. And I wasn't even in my body. I was outside of my body. How crazy is that? With the gift of PSYCH-K, it helped lead me up into my empowerment phase. And that's the third level of the level of consciousness. Empowerment, which means I remembered how powerful I am and that I'm actually creating my reality. I'm creating my world based on the beliefs I have from my mind. How about that? Yeah. And I can actually open up my heart. I can open up and unite the masculine, feminine energies within me to help guide me. So I can begin to live more of what I do want instead of what I don't want. So PSYCH-K is a huge gateway for people to lift up out of any victim energy or things being not fair into your empowerment. And then it also helps leap you into your level of awakening. And that's exactly it. That I've done for the last 13 years. And it keeps getting better and better. And I welcome that for you. So the awakening is when you wake up and realize, oh my gosh, we're actually spiritual beings having this human experience. And that spirit of love, the love essence, and the inclusion of all, and all good and holy can actually flow through me, and that's what's guiding me. So you can begin to start elevating into the higher energies within you, and then be able to bring those into your life. And that will lead you into the next level of consciousness, and that's illumination. Where you remember you are a love and light being here. Oh my goodness. And that's doing the higher energies of flow. Being able to live in the love, the peace, the harmony of who you really are. Even if you do go and experience the sadness and anger or guilt or worry or fear, you also can stay connected to your stillness, to the love of who you are, while you are experiencing those things of being human here, and being able to rectify it in a much faster pace and use it as like a growing experience for you. Use it as like a kind of like a great movie. I think all of us love to see a great movie, and we love to, to have a really great movie, which usually has some trauma and it usually has some challenges. Absolutely. And then the gift is when there's a victory, when it gets resolved, the love returns, right? Those are the best movies. Well, we literally are creating our own movies here, and you get to be the director and the writer and the actor and all of it, and the producer too. So how nice is that? That you get to choose. It's your free will choice of what level of consciousness you love to experience here. Because once you start vibrating in that love energy, when you help yourself alchemize out of the fear, and love becomes your new way of being, and it's unconditional love. So it's not judgmental love or conditional love like a lot of us were raised in. It's unconditional love, which means it's all open. It's all welcoming. It flows. It feels great. Okay. And I know it's amazing that you will leap up into the level of mastery. So many of us are becoming masters here. Master of your own self-realization of who you really are, helping to discover your purpose, help to share your gifts. We're meant to share our gifts here and serve. We are giving beings. We are. And we naturally receive every moment we give. So even right now, with me giving the words that are coming through me, I am feeling so full of love. Love of all of you. I know we each are connected, and we each are here for each other. So anything you're hearing from me, just know I'm here to actually be a beautiful mirror for you, to know that you are able to master your own self-realization in your own highest level of consciousness here, of your oneness with all. And the highest level of consciousness is oneness. Yes, to know that there is no separate self at all. We all are one, we all are connected, and we're all here for each other. So fear is here to help us with this because it gives us the contrast, the opposite of the love of who we are. And when we recognize it, that your power of your love is the most powerful energy in this universe. Fear has no power over you. None at all. Your perfect love is everything. And you'll be able to become more of an observer of yourself. You will be able to notice and watch your thoughts and your feelings and your actions and begin to choose in more of the flow, more of the connection, and more of the true essence of who you are. Today we are talking about letting yourself be ruled by love instead of fear. So how can we anchor in and have our love lead us, have our heart lead us? How nice is that, right? And then recognize if there is any fears within us or fears running our life, or are we responding and reacting out of fear from things instead of our true essence of love? And the key here too is to be able to recognize it. That's a huge piece. Are you able to recognize it? Are you able to check in with how you're feeling and actually be honest with yourself, be truthful with yourself, and allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling? I know for myself, I lived in denial. I learned that from my mom. She was very good at it. It was her coping skill. So I that was my gift here, I guess, or my learning lesson here in my lifetime, is to recognize anytime I am in denial of how I'm really feeling or what I'm really thinking. And if I can catch myself with it, I think, heck yes, there we go. I caught it. Because once I can catch it, I can do something about it. So check in with yourself about that. Are you putting stuff off or blowing things off, or acting like, oh yeah, everything's just fine, everything's just good, but yet your body's probably going to tell you different. That's for sure. Or life will definitely show you different, and it will continue to do that until it wakes you up, until it gets your attention. Because everything happening in your life, in your outside world, is based on the beliefs you have within you. Which means we are actually creating what is in our outside world. And we can use it. We can use it to help us. Yes, we are in a life journey here. Each one of us. None of us know how long we'll be here. That's actually kind of an interesting part, right? The game, we don't know. Are we going to live a long time? Are we going to live a short time? Can things go really well? Then all of a sudden things get really crappy. And I know for myself too, I even was raised with, when is that foot going to drop, right? Or the shoe going to drop? They would say that. The sayings. Check in with the sayings that you say, or the things that you go by. Are you on guard? I actually checked in with myself about that too. My current husband right now and I are going through a challenge, and I felt very guarded, being whenever I'm around him or when he's speaking. So the gift is if you come learn PSYCH-K, which we're going to definitely highly recommend for you. If you do that for yourself, like I have this tool called PSYCH-K. I checked in, and I was able to change this within myself. So now my subconscious mind is running the program that I feel safe enough to let go of my guard, to let my guard come down. Yeah, even when I'm around my current husband and when he speaks, and instead I shine my love. Wow. And actually, when I did reprogram that within myself, I felt like a huge release. And literally, I felt like an armor coming off of me, another level of armor that I had to use to protect myself. And that was what the fear energy of those vibrations within me was doing for me. It was serving me. Because if I felt like I was going to have an argument happen, or a disagreement, or something like that, or something just unknown, our body and our mental and emotional bodies will put things up for you to protect you. This is how we're designed. Isn't that amazing? And the gift is we can begin to question these. Do we want to keep having our guard up, especially around our heart? Okay. I had a huge one. Oh, heck yeah. I definitely did. And I love people, and I love sharing ideas, and yet I still would protect it, and I still had things closed off. So this is also another thing you can start diving in and checking in. How are you doing? If you are upset with something or frustrated with something, this is something that you can ask yourself. Am I willing to forgive myself about the situation and that other person or that other situation that happened? Because when you forgive, you literally are for giving, which means you are for giving, okay? Which means you are opening your heart again to live your full essence. And in the full giving, then you can actually receive again. Okay. We do this at a conscious level where we think we have forgiven people or forgiven ourselves. And yet, if you're still having negative thoughts about it, or dense emotions that your body's feeling, where you might feel a bit angry about it, resentful, even fearful, or even for me, I had my guard up, right? This is where the gift of PSYCH-K can come in to help assist you greatly. Because at the subconscious level of the mind, when you literally change the programs that your subconscious mind is running, this is where all your habits come from. This is what your body runs. Your body runs everything. All those chemicals we talked about, right? That you get to shift. Instead of the fear ones we talked about, how about your subconscious mind releases the love hormones? All right, let's talk about the love hormones. Heck yeah, my favorite hormones. And I hope they're your favorite too. DHEA is an amazing hormone that comes out for you. Oxytocin is the bonding one, so you feel very connected. Your heart is open and bonding, right? Isn't that amazing? Yes. Oh, and actually, I had said it for the negative vasopressin, but it's actually the positive. So vasopressin is actually there to help you look attractive, to be looking, attractive, because attractiveness is actually a very nice thing to have a beautiful attraction with yourself and others, right? Isn't that neat? Yes. So when you have these beautiful love hormones, it also allows the growth hormones. Yes, which means you get to grow and actually become healthier and younger. How nice is that? Instead of getting old with the fear energy and things breaking down and not working so well, how about we move over to the love hormones? Yes. And how your body responds with the love hormones is based on the beliefs you have at the subconscious level of the mind. Yes. If you don't know PSYCH-K, you can do things like breath work. Breath work is beautiful, and we will actually take a couple breaths here, and we can do that together. It just takes a bit longer, and you can consciously begin to choose what you want and physically bring it in your life through repetition. That is one way. Others have learned some hypnosis or other tools. Find the tool that works for you. I just love PSYCH-K because it's fast, it's simple, and it's powerful, and it's very effective. And I like that. And I hope you do too. So if there's anything that's preventing you from resonating into that level of love and letting love rule you, find out what would be important for you to believe that can help you with this, okay? Like, I am safe. That's a huge one. I am completely safe and always safe. And I am always loved and adored and respected. These are the things, when your subconscious runs that, wow, you'll begin to see the world in a new way and your own self in a new way too. So today we helped connect and find ways that we can let our love rule instead of our fear rule within us. So great work that you did today. And we will, before we end today, we'll take 3 nice cleansing breaths, which is beautiful that you can always do. So one thing, especially in the moment, if you do feel very stressed out or fearful, is connect with your breath. Because naturally what will happen is with the fight-flight response, you'll start breathing a lot faster, shallower, and your ribs actually will close up a little bit more. So you can correct that. And then breathing in deeply in your nose, and we'll do that now. We'll take 3 slow, full breaths if you can. And I like to close my eyes or half close my eyes, but take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And then hold it gently at the top of your breath. When you hold it gently at the top of your breath, you actually can enter into what's called 0-point frequency. So you literally become one with the true essence of you and your stillness with divinity, the love connection. So stay there until you get the nudge to fully release, and then fully release out your mouth. And then wait until your body signals you to take the next breath. We'll take the next breath. And then hold gently, and then fully release. And we'll take a nice 3rd deep breath. Deep breath in, hold gently. You can make a sound if you want to. Sometimes a nice sound can really help too. That actually can shift you from sympathetic to parasympathetic in your nervous system. That can calm you and have you anchor in a little bit more peace within you and dissolve or transmute or alchemize that fear into your love again. So we welcome you with that. Breath is also a huge and simple thing you can do. Absolutely. I know with using PSYCH-K, my breath has changed. I sometimes only take 2 or 3 breaths a minute. which as a nurse blew my mind because I was told people were supposed to take 16 to 20 breaths in a minute. Well, our bodies can change and we can breathe slower and fuller, the life force energy of who we are, and then release things that we can let go of. How nice. So if you are interested in learning about PSYCH-K or getting some support with that, there's two things you can do. One, if you would like to have a PSYCH-K private session with me, we can do a one-on-one session either through Zoom, or if you live in the Metro Detroit area, you can come to my home for an hour session. Typically, people do about 3 sessions, a series of 3, and you can get a lot done in three sessions in 3 hours. You'll be finding out where are those fears or those blocks or limitations and be able to shift them back into your love so you can vibrate in the love of who you are, clear your path so you may live the highest potential and live in the love, flow, peace, and harmony that you actually really are. And if you're ready to learn PSYCH-K, woohoo! Come aboard. We love it. It's the spiritual family coming together. I am having upcoming workshops. I'm one of the certified PSYCH-K instructors here on this planet. There's about 35 of us across the world. I do speak it in English and mostly in America. Later in the year, I'll be international, but right now I'm in America. So in March, coming up, March 10th to the 12th is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yay! And then next is going to be in right by Detroit, Michigan, the 3rd week of March. And then the end of March will be Louisville, Kentucky. So you can check my website. Go to igniteandhealyourlife.com. Igniteandhealyourlife, LIFE.com. Igniteandhealyourlife.com to learn more. And you can hit contact us button. I'd love to receive a message for you. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. You have a beautiful day today. Live from your love. Let your love shine bright. You are love. And I send my love to you. Aho.